the Pokemon X Target returns with Drop 2, designed for fans and by fans. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we covered there was a special Pokemon 30th anniversary drop with Target where they had a bunch of different items and collectibles all tied to Pokemon and their 30th celebration. They had you see the guys with the jackets here, they had a Kanto one, they had special like crew necks, they had books, Trapper Keepers, stickers, all of these things. They had Trapper Keepers, yes, like actually like branded Trapper Keepers, all in inspired by and based off of Pokemon. And so they split it up where they had a first drop and a second drop. Now, we covered it on the stream that the drop was Scalp to High Hell. There were people outside of Target several hours beforehand, probably lining up as early as like 3 a.m. trying to get in and get the drop. So now here's the second version of it. And there's specifically something I want to get to about this article. This is on Target's like corporate website. Like, this is their business website. This isn't just actively on Target. So let's get into it. After an unforgettable debut, Pokemon X Target is back with Drop 2, and it's all about giving fans more ways to join the celebration. Launching June 6th in Target stores and online, Drop 2 continues to celebrate 30 years of the beloved Pokemon franchise with more than 40 new products featuring deep fandom details. The collection, co-created with the Pokemon Company International, is designed to thrill the community, including families, longtime trainers, and new fans alike. Drop 2 is another love letter to Pokemon fans, says Gigi Guerra, Vice President Creative Curation. Every detail was thoughtfully considered, from the biggest statement pieces to the smallest hidden touches, so fans can discover something new each time they engage with the collection. Wowee! I'm so excited to spend money on merchandise. Whoa, look, there's a Mew on the sleeve. I gotta spend $60 on that or $40 on that. But the reason why I wanted to bring
you buy 5 of those, that's one Nintendo Switch.
That is one Nintendo Switch. But, the reason why I'm going to buy so many of them is so that I can sell them for a higher price thing. And then I can buy 4 Nintendo Switch 2s. And then I can sell those for more money. It never ends.
The whole resale market thing. First off, I think everyone can agree, scalpers suck, right? It's literally just like that's their business. They just do that to make money. But like, what happened to the days where people bought things to just enjoy it? Now everything is about like, how can I turn this and make more money? How can I flip this? How can I, trick people into paying more than they're charging at the store? Like, I'm so sick of it. It's very obnoxious. Stop doing it. If you're a scalper on this channel, stop it. But like, I'm so annoyed. Buy it because you want it. Don't make it harder for everyone else, please. But honestly, why? For Target as a brand, I don't really think Target is, that great of a brand. And I don't think they have been for the last 5 years. But like, now bringing Pokemon into it, it just feels like Target's just like trend hopping. They're like lily padding from one trend to the next, and they feel like this one's gonna bring them the money for now. I'm so sick of it. So I don't know, Tom, you're probably better at speaking toward it, but I feel like Pokemon is a lot more like hush hush than it used to be. Not that there's not still value there, but it's nowhere near as much as it used to be.
I would push back on that. I would say it is still up there in price it's still up there in not only brand recognizability, but also cost. As we saw with the first drop, people are there at 3 a.m. in the morning trying to buy as many as they can to sell for a higher price because people will buy it. So that's where people are with it. I understand why Target did this, and it makes sense from when you look at the perspective of Target over the last, let's say 7 years. It all kind of started in 2020 during the pandemic when people would watch people on streams open up Pokemon cards and they'd go, oh, that guy's having fun. That guy pulled the shiny card. That looks like fun. I want to have fun. Let me go to Target and get cards, and then I can open things too. And then people went, well, hold on a second. I could go to Target before those people, buy everything, and sell it back to them. So Target has witnessed over those 6-7 years of all of this happening, where they have to change how they release things. They have to now make it that, oh, Pokemon TCG products aren't on the shelves. You have to go to customer service to buy them because of how many people get into fights about. At a lot of locations, they have it at customer service instead of it having it on the thing. Every single week now, if you go on Twitter, there's a new video out of someone getting into a fist fight at Walmart over the most recent Pokemon drop because someone grabbed everything and then was like, bro, I wanted that. And they start tussling it out. So if you're Target and you see, holy crap, these people are coming in every week, Wednesday to Saturday, trying to get this stuff. If we just sell Pokemon stuff, we're just going to make bank. Like, like it makes total sense from their perspective of like, hey, we have a problem with these people, but they are massive spenders. We should just sell Pokemon stuff. So the reason, you know, other than like covering like, oh, this is going to be interesting to see how it plays out, they have on here tips for shopping drop 2. Pokemon fandom.
Make the problem, sell the solution, and help them along.
I love the language they use here because it's, you know, it is kind of addressing it, but it's still being polite about it. Pokemon fandom is passionate, and Target recognizes the responsibility that comes with launching limited time collections for such a devoted audience. The goal, help more fans get their hands on the product they're excited about. Here's how to shop drop 2. Plan your visit to Target.
I'm not planning a trip to Target. You know what I mean? I just want to go in, shop, get out. I don't want to stand in the line like Disney.
The assortment will be available online June 6th, beginning at 8 a.m. Central Time, and in most stores at store open. Use the store locator on Target.com to find participating locations and plan your trip. Inventory may vary by store. Items are expected to sell quickly. For the best chance to secure your favorites, consider heading to stores before doors open on launch day. So they're actively saying, if you want this, you got to be here before we even open. I'm kind of surprised to see them say that. When I worked retail, I worked at a place where we sold pop figures during the time. It was like it wasn't at the peak of the height of like the Funko craze, but it was still when it was popular. You know, they're not really as popular as now, but it was during that time where like people would line up, and there was a big deal of it's like, you're not allowed to line up before the store opens because we're only like a couple people in here. We can't have someone mitigating the line outside. That's not a responsibility. But if something did happen, there's that possible lawsuit of like, hey, this guy, fought you in front of your, fought somebody in front of the store. Why wasn't there an attendant out there to stop and break it up? Why wasn't there this? So the fact that they're like, oh yeah, you need to be outside before the store even opens. I'm curious, I'm surprised to see. For online shopping, check each item's product page for the latest availability and location updates. Starter jacket availability.
Hold on, can we go back?
Going for
can we go back? For online shopping, check the item's product page for latest availability. Since the pandemic, online availability is never accurate. It is never accurate.
Well, no, because they want you to come into the store.
But then you're like, you're asking for fights. What excites me here, I actually really enjoyed midnight releases for video games in the early 2000s. I thought that was so fun. You stay up late, you enjoy it. Everybody there, they're wearing their t-shirt. Someone plays music. You bring some Cheetos. You have a good time. You wait there respectfully. You go in and buy the game and have a good time with it. Now they're saying, beat people up if you need to. Our website's not going to work, but check inventory on the website. That to me is the equivalent of when you call and it's an AI and you can't get anybody. And then you get really, really, really pissed off. And then you're like, what the actual hell am I doing? And then they're like, goodbye, and hang up. And you throw your phone out of a moving car. Like,
the box stores make obviously everyone has a girlfriend or wife or boyfriend that loves shopping at Target. My wife loves shopping on Amazon and Target, and it just comes, right? But these companies, Target and Walmart, they need people to come into the stores. Yes, they make online shopping, but like you said, the inventory is not accurate, so they want people to come into the store. Well, one, when they do stuff like this for Pokemon, they want you to line up early. Well, guess what? Target calls the local news stations, and the local news stations come out and they go, "Oh, look, Pokemon," and they get advertisement on the news channels. That's free advertisement for Target. Two, you get people to come in. You ever go to a gas station, you're at the pump, and you want your receipt, and you hit the button, and then it says receipts inside. And you're like,
want to sell you stuff.
Right, because the gas station makes money when you go inside. That's why Target, when they say, this is to cover their butt, right? Where it says, for online shopping, check the items in each product page, latest availability. You're right. It's never accurate. So if you want accuracy and you want to make sure you get there early, get in line, get your stuff. But what stops the first person to walk in and just clear out the entire rack of jackets or shirts or whatever, right? Do they limit it to how many you can have? Does it say limitation to each of the things or no?
So that's where
it's over here.
So they do, and so it was 2 purchase limits. They've now lowered it to 1 unit per item per guest. So now you can only, so it used to be you could get 2 of what, you could get 2 of each thing. It's now 1 of each thing. So you can still get everything, but you can only get 1 of them. You can't get 2 of all of them. You can only get 1. But also, the thing that people are going for are these like starter jackets. It was, I think, like 130. The first one was Kanto, like the irregular, like the original game. The little flap here where it says the Johto region, it flips up in its pocket, but it has the badges like sewn into it. So it's like, oh, it's a cool thing.
Hold on, you said 130, like 130?
I believe they're $130. Yeah.
I'm disgusted at this world. I don't want to be here anymore.
Hey. Not only is it Target, it's Starter. It's the Starter brand.
Oh.
Nobody's worn jackets like this since the 90s. What are we doing?
Well, it's coming back. It's coming back. We're right in the rave. It's coming back. But they're not. So the thing that they're like, the main collectible item from the drop was the jacket. That was the thing that everyone was going for. Starter jacket availability: a limited number of Pokemon Johto and Hoenn region starter jackets, new for Drop 2, will be available online only on June 6th. Beginning June 7th at 8 a.m. Central Time on Target.com, guests will have the opportunity to pre-order a second wave of all 3 versions of the Pokemon Starter Jacket, Kanto region from Drop 1, plus the Drop 2 Johto and Hoenn region jackets for delivery later this winter.
Winter. You don't even get the item now. You get it later. Oh my God. It's like pre-ordering a battle pass.
Do they do that? Please tell me they don't do that.
Yes, yeah. EA does that. Yeah, EA does that with Battlefield now. They just started that.
But they'll frame it nicely. It's the season pass.
Yeah,
it's the season pass.
Get it earlier before everybody else.
It's for the season. It's not out yet, but you'll have it once it comes out.
Okay, so Tom, I'm pretty sure Wizard told us that he used to work at Toys R Us. Is that true?
He did. Yes, okay. He did.
Toys R Us mastered this. And this is what makes me so sad. All of the good things on handling crowds, product availability, like accessibility, payments, they're all in the past, right? Toys R Us did such a good job of like putting out enough on the floor, but then keeping stuff in the back. And you'd go to them and like actually talk to someone. I know that's crazy. But you'd actually talk to someone and they would go check and say, yes, we have it. No, we don't. It like limited this. Now they're like, we don't know how to stop the scalpers. Toys R Us figured it out 40 years ago. Like, this is artificial scarcity. Because if they already, like right here, saying, oh, limited number of jackets, you could print more. I know how this stuff works. You could make enough if you wanted to. They don't because it makes the value of it. But they could put them in the back. They could have it available for more people. They could make this thing easier for everybody. They just choose not to.
Well, that's where I feel like the whole thing of it's like, hey, they don't have, like, there's probably this many of the new jackets, like this small amount. The fact that they're using this specific phrase of a limited number off the bat for the online, they're not even going to have it in stores. So if you want to go sit and, wait in front of Target at 3 a.m. till 8 a.m. for it to open to try and get this jacket to resell, they don't even have it in stores. It's online only. And then having it be the next day that, oh, we're going to just do a pre-order for all 3 jackets and it's going to come later. This makes me think that they're just going to have the, okay, how many people are going to order it, and then we're going to put in the submission for them to be made. So
right.
This reads more like, why, I know you guys aren't Pokemon guys, but you understand the whole thing of like, all right,
100%.
Resellers
Pre-order video games. That's exactly what they're doing here with clothes now.
Yes, it's the do you think that this, I want to say, angle, the way that they're trying to do this, oh, we're not going to make it's not 2 items per unit, it's going to be 1 item per unit, and we're just going to have a pre-order. Sure, it delivers in this winter, but like you'll still get it. Do you think this is them making efforts to actually try and curb the whole reselling market, or do you think this is just going to play into it more?
I mean, in video game terms, gamers are going to game. They're always going to find water goes to the lowest point. They're always going to figure it out. Someone in chat even said it. What about if I bring my wife, my son, my nephew, right? So we're all there and we're each doing separate transactions. Do you know what I mean? So now I can get 10 items or I can get 15 items, whatever it is, right? And then maybe I go to a different location that's out of the way that not a lot of people like buy the Pokemon stuff, and maybe I can get double dip or something. Maybe I send someone else to another store to pick up. There's ways around to get more things. So you could control the scalpers a little bit more, but at the same time, they're gonna figure a way to do it. Now, I do think it's smart though for Target, because product like this, if they didn't do stuff like this, right, and this is why they're marketing it, this is why they're saying stuff, it goes fast. They don't have to hold the inventory. This stuff's gonna come in that day. It's going to be gone that day, and then they can open up the floor for something else, right? And that is a small sampling of going, oh, we gave them 10 jackets for each store. They sold out right away. Now, the next day, people start pre-ordering. So now they know how many they have, like you said, Tom, how many to put in production. And that's all it is. So this is a small sampling of a testing that they're doing. Again, it's not in every region, right? It's at participating locations. So the participating locations is if that's a major store in or around your area, they see if that's the barometer, right? If that sells out fast, then it'll go out to the other stores in other cities or even in that area. So it's smart for them because again, their whole store is about inventory space, and they don't really have that much inventory, so they don't want to keep it long. So this is very smart by the box stores.
30, you sound like a plant. You sound like you're in on it.
I've been doing this stuff for a really long time. So
it's I you know what? I didn't realize they were going to be posting this today. I wish I took a picture because they still have. I went to Target today and they still have the section up in the Target store where all of this was supposed to be, but all of the hanger, all of the hooks where the shirts and jackets are supposed to be were empty, but they still had like some of the like food. They had the pirate's booty cheese puffs that were Pokemon decaled, and like the like makeup sets were still there. And on the like in the middle aisle was the Mandalorian and Grogu collection. That didn't get the aisle space. Pokemon got the aisle space. But the Mandalorian and Grogu got the little table in the middle. I thought it was funny. If I knew we were going to talk about this, I would have taken the picture. But Isaac, rounding around, finishing this up. If you were a big box store, if you were Mr. Target, you owned all the Targets and you were like the big decision man at Target, would you actually try and, how do I want to phrase this?
Prevent scalpers?
how would you prevent it? But also, more importantly, would you actually do anything to try and prevent it?
I think this is a moral and an ethical question at the same time, because from a business perspective, Target's job is to sell as much as possible, and the moral aspect of it is, are we willing to sell less to do it morally or to do it ethically? Unfortunately, most people at the top of these businesses, they don't care because they're publicly traded companies. So they're just saying, we're going to do whatever we need to build shareholder value. That's what they do. So if you're asking me specifically, I like to think I'm more on the moral side and more ethical about how I approach these things. I absolutely would try to figure out how to stop scalping. In fact, I'd take it one step further and I would say, like, let's group think this, right? Like, let's have a ton of people in the public try to help us come up with ideas on how to stop scalpers. I almost think that would buy goodwill from people and get more people to buy from your store overall, rather than us just saying, like, we figured out how to stop scalpers and then actually doing nothing to prevent it. So would I do it? Absolutely. Do I think there's a benefit to it? Absolutely. Do I think that they actually will? Definitely not. And that's the unfortunate, truth in this whole thing. I don't see this going anywhere. This is drop 2. And anything in the future, I just see them doing this again because, again, they're always looking at bottom line. And if it is something that could lose them money, they're not going to do it, regardless of if it hurts us as consumers. They want us to mindlessly consume. And unfortunately, the scalpers are in their equation of mindless consumers.
Well, for box stores, though, they don't know the difference between a scalper and a customer. They just know the money is being spent and they move the inventory out of their store.
But they could know the difference. That's the problem.
But they don't want to know because...
Well, yeah, right.
Right, because if, let's just say they hire one extra guy to stand there and be like, let me see your ticket that you got. Okay, you could pick one thing off the shelf. That's time consuming. That's an extra employee they have to spend money on. They don't care about any of that. They put it in the store. It comes in. Have you ever worked retail before?
I've run the operations. I've never actually been on the floor, but
when like Black Friday comes or anything else, people run in, they destroy the tables, and then it's like a hurricane. They leave, right? The store's, the employee there is like, oh, Jesus Christ, I hate my job, I hate my life. But the store's like, we made some good sales today, that's the difference between that. The corporation doesn't care. So a scalper to them is a customer, and as long as they're making the money of the product they're putting out, they'll tell you in your face, like online, we really care. We're trying to stop scalping. It's like Call of Duty saying they're going to stop the cheating, but they don't, because it's people in the game still playing the game to keep it going.
Yeah, no. Well, we've seen. I feel like we've seen the reason why they have done. I think the things that they have is because it turns into the safety issue. So we have to now have things behind the counter, because when we had it out in the open, people were getting injured. So that's where it's the steps that they're going to take is to make sure it's like, okay, we're gonna do these things now because people got hurt, and we don't want that to be happening anymore. So that's where it's going to be, I'm curious to see with the jackets not going to be in store during the day of release. Is it still going to be a blowout, everything sold out? Is it going to be a rope drop, 3 a.m. gotta be there? I am curious to see. It's going to be so not next, I think it is next week, isn't it? Was it
Yeah, it's June 7th.
6th.
Yeah, 6th.
Yeah, June 6th and 7th. So it's going to be next week. So not next week's episode, the week episode after, we will probably cover how that all turned out. So
real quick, Ryan Lopez in chat says Toys R Us approach worked. Why? Something's not the same. Where's Toys R Us now?
Well, that's a very complicated issue, though, because there is so many levels to it.
Yeah, but their business is not here anymore. So even if their scalping plan worked, the rest of their business model didn't work.
Yeah.
That's a hard one, 30, because you'd have to look at why didn't it work? Because they signed a deal with the devil of Amazon.
Yeah.
And that's why. So, like, yeah, I mean, dumb business decisions, totally.
Do you guys remember Play World?
Yes.
Yeah. Turn your frown upside down, right?
Yeah. It's one of those things. It's what I said. There's moral and there's ethical. And the major corporations that the Wizard talks about, that we talk about all the time, they don't care about that.
Yeah, they don't care about that.
And that's the problem in like today's world, you know, like us as consumers, some of us here and the people that we talk to, like they understand, okay, we don't need to just mindlessly consume. We should think about it. But they do their darndest every time they put out any piece of marketing to just make you mindlessly consume. And this is the type of stuff that happens. A scalper is no different than, you know, a single mother who's buying something for her kid that she saved up for 4 years. They don't care. And that's the unfortunate problem.
I don't know. I think I have to be there. You know, I have to have 3 computers set up on different VPNs to try and get the Johto region jacket. I it
is pretty. I can see you in that jacket, Tom. You should get that jacket.
If you don't have that on stream in the next few weeks, I'm going to be disappointed.
You could put the kazoo right in the front pouch there. Easy access.
I would be able to hold a lot of different.
You could put your figurine in that pocket too. You could be starting to pull a whole bunch of stuff out.
Oh my goodness!
I'd do a little magic routine. I'd be like, "Oh, what's in this?" Start pulling the different ropes out. You know,
30. Stop giving him ideas. This is
what's this?
Oh my goodness! But I just want to. I want to give an example though of like, there's an entire industry that I know that probably not many people here are like involved in. I'm not involved in it myself, but I know that it had its place in time. I think it hit its peak like 10 years ago. The shoe industry. That entire industry is now decimated by scalpers. Like nobody is like, does it still exist? Do they still have meetups? Like sure, that type of stuff. But the shoe industry is like a very clear example of where scalping has ruined shoe drops, the excitement behind it. People have given up. They're like, it's not even worth trying. And I'd hate to see some of the IPs that we grew up with that have been here for 30 or 40 years completely get decimated because they are not able to figure out the scalping issue.
Or they just don't care about it, you know. It's the dual pronged issue of not only is it the can they figure it out, and then there's the like, oh, do they even think? Because there's like, Pokemon is just one example. I think Pokemon is the best example because it's what is out there right now. But like, you had this with like before Pokemon, this was Disney. You'd have your Disney store drops. There was the Funko drops. And with those other companies, like you mentioned with Toys R Us, they did have floodgates in place to try and prevent these things. So as other things get bigger, as more properties finally hit like the mainstream and there's more, I want to get into this, are they going to be able to answer the call of demand?